Dr. Fact is knocking at the door. Someone please, let the man in.
On the hour.
Such is politics.
It's a painful business.
On the hour.
What you mustn't do in politics is listen to people.
It's a painful business.
Such is politics.
I tell you this straight, I will not be any part of using Northern Ireland as a bargaining counter.
He strutted about, sitting on Q8.
I don't see France as an old lady scared of a mouse.
On the hour with Christopher Morris.
I'm Christopher Morris, and a very good afternoon to you. Hello. Today's The Headlines.
The headlines.
Angry Delors in Can Someone Get That Bloody Phone outburst. 2-year-old fish dies at sea, and dismantled Pope found sliding along road.
On the hour.
Plus, coming up, a palace press spokesman describes the Queen's bravery in facing up to BBC presenter Nick Ross, who had broken into her bedroom and tried to steal her backbone.
She said to herself, I think I am Queen, and I've got a backbone, and my God, I'm going to keep it stiff.
Meanwhile, Ross, who's been sacked, obviously, has asked the nation for understanding.
There was an incident which was childish and stupid, and naturally, I regret that. Whether that is enough to be used to try and destroy a man's career and whole life is, of course, another matter.
But first, the news. The Bank of England has lost the pound, plunging the financial world into turmoil this afternoon. Smarting officials say a search has been mounted and there is no need to panic. This sort of thing happens all the time, said one. It's probably been misplaced under something on somebody's desk or fallen behind the coffee machine, which hasn't been moved for a while. However, trading today has been diabolical. Many report the pound had been thin and hazy for months, and the bank simply failed to heed warnings. Others link the disaster with the appearance of a strange, sexless child who was seen wandering around the square mile with an inscrutable grin. Meanwhile, the banks say they will be temporarily replacing the lost currency with sherry.
On the hour, choice morsels from a broad kitchen.
This is Alan Partridge with his sports desk. More racing results just in from Chestershire. The 4:30 brouhaha finish. First, number 3, Clerical Explosion. Second, number 5, Erupted Pension. And third, number 7, Alan Beath Tonsil Boy. The going at Chestershire today was flappy to amorous. Cricket. The International Cricket Championships start this evening. Earlier last week, I shared a chat with Graham Gooch and some other English cricketers in the post-match changing rooms.
I'm here in the changing rooms of the England cricket team, and I must say it's quite a sort of close, foggy atmosphere. It's all the smells of sportsmen changing. Going in the showers there and see they're getting their clothes off. There's very big blokes, certainly is. And, hey, there's Graham Gooch. Graham, Alan Partridge.
Yeah, you got a few questions then, Mr. Partridge.
Hey, you lot, stop messing about, or I'll have your.
It looks pretty sexy, Alan.
Oh, thanks a lot. I'll have your balls. Just a bit of a joke there. Graham, the gear. Tell us a bit about the gear. Because it sort of looks funny. Well, what's this? What's this here? What's this thing here?
That's called a box.
A box. All right, I see. So protect the old nose. Just put it on my head here. Just
slip
dip
that
it
on
on
your face then, Mr.
It's right over my nose now. I don't know if you still hear me. It makes me. I feel a bit like Darth Vader. Luke, may the force be with you. It smells a bit funny.
Yeah, that actually goes down your trousers. That's Botham's box, in fact.
Crap.
It goes down your trousers.
Down your trousers?
Yeah, protects your balls.
Yeah, come on. You're not trying to say that's to cover the old crown jewels. That's not big enough for mine, I tell you.
Oh, no. Well, let's have a look at them then.
Yeah, come on. Get away. Get away. Get away. Get away. Come on. Leave it. Come on.
That's no bigger than a bale.
Yeah, leave it out. It's pretty cold in here.
He's got a bale down there.
Yeah. Just give us me trousers back, all right? Come on, it's BBC property.
They're in the shower.
Oh, get away. Yeah, you're rubbish at cricket, even though you play for England.
Signing cock.
This is... Yeah! This is Alan Partridge, Sports Desk, finding out things that I'd rather not know about England cricketers and the fact that they're very, very rude.
On the hour, Rich Pickings at the Media Events Interface.
And the travel unit have been making some noise this morning. There are major problems for commuters on the London Underground. Apparently careless workmen have failed to tighten up some of the bolts and several stations on the Circle line have slipped round. Paddington is now at Great Portland Street. Passengers for Monument should dismount at Barbican. And the situation has been further complicated by Mansion House, which has overtaken Blackfriars Temple and Embankment and is now just before Westminster, which is at Bayswater.
Abroad.
An American Treasury report says the United States will now impose sanctions to prevent further destabilization in the euro-dollar trade war. On the line now from Washington is our embargo correspondent Peter O'Hanrahan. Peter, what exactly is going to be done?
Good evening, Chris. Well, what exactly is going to be done is exactly the right question that we've all been asking all day, and now we finally got the answer. And the answer is the Americans have come down very, very, very hard indeed on the European community.
What are they going to be doing?
They're going to be imposing all manner of trade sanctions and embargoes on a sliding scale of percentage points, and this could prove very costly in Brussels.
So what are the exact numbers in the report?
It's hard to say because at various different times in the report they change the...
At what page in the report do they mention the numbers?
All the pages obviously tacitly refer to the numbers, but it's a sliding scale. That's what you have to understand. It slides the scale, and therefore it's very difficult to ascertain exactly what the Americans...
Peter, the report that you've read...
Yes.
Have you read the report?
It has certainly been read.
Who's read it?
Many people have read it.
Have you?
The question is not one that I consider...
When did you read it?
At the press conference it was handed to me,
and the press conference you're given...
I was given the document at the press conference, and I certainly read some parts of it there.
What I want to know is what the Americans are going to impose. Can you tell me now, or are you about to leave?
No, I can't tell you. Yes, I'm leaving.
Peter, thank you very much.
And you, Chris.
On the hour. In news terms, it has an enormous package.
And more of that train stuff has just been coming in. Commuter chaos continues in the capital today. Station slippage has been exacerbated by vandals who are attaching loose stations to the backs of the trains. This means that several stations have run into each other, apparently. Some of them have fused, and the pressure wave has blown Turnpike Lane right out of London altogether. It's now somewhere in the middle of Bedford. Many lines are still working, though most of them on one rail only, and passengers wishing to use escalators are advised to bring their own. Time for Thought for the Day now with Monsignor Trebe Lopez.
One of my younger brethren asked me, who do you think will be top of Division 1 this season, Manchester or Leeds? Ah, saith I wisely, the Lord God is top of Division 1 every season of our world.
A Muslim said to me, if I live a good life and commit no sin, shall I go to heaven also? No, said I, for you are a Muslim, and must sup from the very bladder of Satan unless you come and join in on our side.
Monsignor Trebe Lopez, good to see him back again. You should see his hair this morning. It looks like a sort of dead mouse has landed on his head. There's been an earthquake in Corinth. The city has been devastated by a large shift in the Telemarkos fault which underlies the area. Our disaster correspondent Roger Blatt is on the line now. Roger, what now punctures the sky like the shattered teeth of some giant vanquished boxer?
A line of broken tower blocks now punctures the sky like the shattered teeth of some giant vanquished boxer. A boxer whose face has been punched to pieces from the inside. Just 12 hours ago, this historic city, which since landing here this morning I've come to regard as my home, was blissfully unaware that the mighty bank of the Telemarkos fault was about to call in its terrible loan. That bill contained not only the vast debt of destruction, not only the massive compound interest of falling buildings and cracks in the ground, but the inevitable surcharge of severed limbs, crushed bone, and diabolical pain. All around me now, the air is bothered by the cries of the bereaved and injured. That is the sound of a bereaved, and this is the sound of an injured. On the hour. News of when the Earth moves, even if it means having to move the Earth.
Well, what exactly happens when an earthquake of this size strikes? I'm joined now in the studio by our expert, Edward Crane.
Well, the essential building blocks of an earthquake are pretty much like this. Here are two tectonic plates. Here is a landmass which immediately overlies them. And this pencil is a city built on top of the landmass. Now here is what happens when the earthquake starts. First of all, the plates begin to push against each other. This causes a strain to build up. Here it is. And soon, the plates begin to chafe. The ground leaps and bucks like a dog biting an electric fence. Solid concrete is shattered. Gas pipes burst to cause explosions, and very shortly the entire city is completely destroyed. And so, what happens to the inhabitants? Well, if the population is represented by these mice and a hole in the ground by this vacuum cleaner, then this is what happens.
Newsquake. And back to Roger Blatt now in Corinth. Roger, I believe the first of the leading backbench politicians with an independent program of personal aid has just arrived.
Yes, it's Paul Terrace, and he's standing beside me now. Mr. Terrace, you're tipped to become a minister in the next cabinet reshuffle if you maintain a high enough public profile. Why are you here?
Right, well, first of all, I'm extremely glad you've asked me that question.
Thanks.
What I want to get quite clear about this is that my presence here has nothing to do with me, the politician, and everything to do with me, the person. The politics don't matter a flying slippery swig. And what me, the person's got to do right now is plunge head first into this mess and pull Johnny Greek out of it.
How are you going to do that?
By giving out parcels. Every one of my parcels contains a clean suit and a brand new toothbrush.
How's a clean suit and a toothbrush going to help?
What you've got to understand is that these people's lives have been shattered. They've got to rebuild them from scratch, and that's a hell of a task. I can tell you, because I had to rebuild my own life once, and I know I wouldn't have got anywhere at all had I not had about me at all times a clean suit and a brand new toothbrush. With that, you're ready for anything. Look at this man here. He's a bloody mess. You're a bloody mess, aren't you? Yes, you are. But I know what you're saying. You're saying, give me a clean suit and a brand new toothbrush, and I'm ready for anything. Well, don't worry. I'm here.
Leave him alone. He's mine.
Good God.
That's Philip Skane, your main rival for the cabinet appointment.
Well, kiss my bloody neck.
Mr. Skane is distributing his parcels at the moment. They each contain a roll-on deodorant and a selection of colognes.
With these fresh aroma, I will help these people regain their self-respect.
They need a suit.
Come at you.
He's approaching a victim now.
God, man, you absolutely reek.
Give him a suit. It's a man who's lost both his arms.
Now, let me rub this fragrance of sweet peas into what's left of your armpits. You see, the man needs a suit.
Don't worry, it always stings at first.
Give him a bloody suit.
On the hour, three-dimensional Quakerama.
And as the dust begins to settle on today's catastrophe, the air is already buzzing with recrimination. Critics are saying that much of the destruction could have been avoided. City planners are being asked to justify their decision to build a system of glass motorways and to explain why the foundations of the city's largest buildings were made of crisps. But there is a positive side to this massive natural disaster, and that is the pop singer Barry White, who's flown to Corinth to record some of the victims to give what he calls an authentic cultural stamp to his brand new record, Earthquake in Your Bed.
I know you're a victim. I can see you're grieving. I can tell because your limb count is off. Not even. I can see you're lying in the bricks and the dust. In fact, I know you're dying to feel my seismic thrust. Oh, baby, let's forget the pain, the horror of this place. You don't care about the blood when you're sitting on my face. Don't give a second thought to the wounds that name your frame. 'Cause I know that deep inside you'll still taste the same. Oh, earthquake in your bed. No, baby, because you'll soon be dead. No good for you. Oh, earthquake in your bed.
That's the pop singer Barry White and some of the victims of the Corinth earthquake disaster.
On the Hour, the world in a tablet.
And if you're worried about any relatives or friends you may know out there in Corinth, then you may wish to distract yourself by listening to Radio 4 this afternoon, when at 4:30 there's another chance to eavesdrop on the Welsh, talking about their language, life and culture.
I remember I went to the dentist once, and he was Welsh, and we had a bit of a laugh because the drill wasn't working.
Did you hear the story about the bloke at a threshing machine? And he got all tangled up in that, and
yes.
his head come off, but he managed to pick it up and run the 100 yards to the farm, and by the wonders of surgery, they sewn it back on again.
No, that was in Wales, was it?
That wasn't in Wales. That was in Ohio, in America.
That's the Welsh this afternoon at 90 minutes past 3, and earlier at 12:25, Brain of Britain is hosted by Robert Robinson. This week's Brain is Melvyn Bragg.
Of which country was Victoria not the Queen, though her two predecessors had been its king?
The Lake District.
No, I think she was the Empress there, wasn't she?
All right, your gift is God-given. All right, you didn't learn to tap dance, you just learned routines.
Who were the two presenters of the Channel 4 series Orchestra?
Mickey Rooney and Desmond Lynam.
Which anaesthetic was first used by Sir James Young Simpson in Edinburgh?
Andrew Neil, editor of the Sunday Times.
What in Paris are the bateaux mouches?
British.
When members of the House of Commons vote on a bill, they go into one of two division lobbies. What is the name of each of these lobbies?
It's a personal contradiction in the whole environmental thing, which you must come across, Jane, and I suspect you do too.
No. Whereabouts in Wales will the 1992 National Garden Festival be held?
Start the week, first edition news series. Join us next week. Good morning.
Yes, that's it.
Join Melvyn Bragg and Robert Robinson this lunchtime on Radio 4. The time is just coming up to 3 o'clock on Sunday, the 4th of June.
It's 8 o'clock on Tuesday, the 18th of February.
The headlines today: new low for GATT as euro-dollar trade war deepens. We will be featuring that story in full after the news, so it won't actually be mentioned in the bulletin in case in some way it preempts the more detailed analysis which follows, perhaps stealing the thunder of the later report by presenting a filleted version of the facts without due reference to the background details. The other headlines today: guns, numbers and the unemployed. And now, with the news in full, here's the continuity announcer.
Police have shot dead a man thought to be carrying a loaded weapon and holding a family of 3 hostage in a house in Peterborough. They have denied rumours that a replica was involved, but whilst they have shown that the gun was genuine, a search revealed that all the hostages were replicas and the house was an imitation of the sort found in any high street toy shop. The man was also false. This report from Paul Stafford. I'm sorry, we can't bring you that report at the moment. Mathematicians have announced the existence of a new whole number which lies between 27 and 28. We don't know why it's there or what it does, said Cambridge mathematician Dr. Hilliard Halliard. We only know that it doesn't behave properly when put into equations and that it is divisible by 6, though only once. Here's our science correspondent, Nick Watkins. I'm sorry, we don't appear to...
Minimum wage!
The pop singer Cliff Richard has paid £25 million to prevent Britain's unemployed being sold to the Japanese. The singer said he bought the nation's jobless because they belonged in England, not hanging on the wall of a foreign businessman's office. Mr. Richard's agent has promised that the assembly of drifters and layabouts will not be held in a private collection, but will be on permanent loan to Wembley Stadium, where people can go and see them at any time of the day or night. Proceeds of which will go towards their upkeep at a cost of approximately 50 pence per head per month. I'm sorry about the noise. I think there's a workman next door with a drill.
You're listening to the sound of On the Hour. coming up over the next page, outcry over Derbyshire Police's controversial anti-drugs campaign.
I know these kids take drugs, and if they don't stop it, I will kill them.
Plus, an eyewitness account from the man at the centre of events.
What's your reaction to the whole media merry-go-round?
Well, I'm just enjoying the ride.
Do you want to elaborate?
I'm enjoying the ride on the media merry-go-round. That's my reaction.
News. And it's been announced this morning that Prince Harry has split up. The 7-year-old had been experiencing increasing bodily disquiet for some time. There were rumoured to be irreconcilable differences between several of his limbs, and the secret became public when he could no longer hold it together and flew to pieces in front of reporters today. The Queen is said to be very sad.
On the hour.
The Queen may be sad, but she certainly doesn't drive her own car. And even if she were happy, would she put her foot firmly on the brakes? Brakes is what On the Hour does to the mould, so it's been said, and mould is coloured green. Green is the colour of Rosie May's desk.
Green desk.
Green news update from me, Rosie May. Teenage girls' vests. Teenage girls' vests can be used to keep the woodland creatures of Romania warm this winter. So says Philip Griffiths of Solihull in the West Midlands. Mr. Griffiths is appealing for enough teenage girls' vests to fill an entire bag. These will be worn by orphaned mice, stoats and otters in Romania. But the vests must not be washed, as detergents could distress a small vole, insists Philip.
Green desk.
Doctors have magical healing powers that have lain undiscovered for thousands of years. Apparently, a patient's health can be improved without recourse to so-called modern medicines by simply rubbing an ordinary family GP against an open sore or area of infection.
And now it's time for a roundup of the news, and we heard 2 weeks ago exactly what a roundup of the news is. Surprisingly enough, the definition hasn't changed, though if you're still in the dark, phone 071 580 4468 and ask.
Comprehensive news trawl.
February, and more trouble for President Boris Yeltsin as the Ukraine declared its own independent laws of physics. Under the new legislation, only natural-born Ukrainians were granted the right to have density, speed was calculated to equal boiling point over height, and friction was abolished, which caused increased mortality around hills, but meant that Ukrainians could glide over hundreds of miles with just one push. Meanwhile, in Kiev, over 300 protesters were injured in gravity riots.
Oversight.
Back home, a new battle was developing over the leadership of the Labour Party. John Smith's favourable rating was largely due to the way he countered accusations that he was too old for the post and should make way for the younger Brian Gould.
I can kick his butt. I can beat everybody in the world today. You ask me why do I think I can beat a guy that's 28 years old or 30 years old, whatever he is. I can beat anybody.
90-degree Newsarama.
On the 3rd of April, fans of BBC Radio 4 were shocked to hear the continuity announcer Brian Perkins resign during a live transmission.
I have lost my freedom, my home, my family, my daily life, and I want them back.
And more tragedy on the 24th. The deepening crisis in Yugoslavia finally took its toll on chief negotiator Lord Carrington. After disappearing for 3 days, he was found slumped on a bar stool in Dubrovnik, his sobriety cruelly eroded by the enormity of events.
I think it's time to get tough with everybody. I mean, it isn't just President Milosevic. Croatian irregulars are crossing the borders from Croatia. And the Muslims, I think, are being pretty provocative. And the JNA are behaving very badly. I mean, it's all of them, as always.
Well, it's in the nature of news that it happens all the time, and it's happening right now. Scientists in the United States have discovered that today is the 2 billionth anniversary of space. This intriguing documentary popped up on our American Wire a few moments ago. It includes revealing glimpses of what makes a spaceman and how he sets about conquering the sky. It's introduced by CBN's Mr. Science, Chesney Mooncalf.
The blind infinity of space. Its silence resonates through the known vestiges of mankind. Yet we must only pause in wonder at those from our star who have bravely touched its aroma. Such first of these are astronauts Campbell Forbeam and Hudson Deck, a manned crew on board the 1972 Apollo Mission 5. Let them paint the palette of space in their own words.
So when you see the Earth, kind of like you're in space and you see the Earth, it's very much like a boiled sweet.
Like, I was very worried about, going to the toilet in a small space. And,
I had an itch on my nose and I couldn't scratch it because of the helmet.
I mean, from where I was sitting on the way out, I couldn't actually see the Earth.
No, there was only one guy, the chief astronaut. He had the window seat. I was in the locker room.
But our heroes are common men and women whose hero suits are simple skirts and ties, not helmets. Those on the ground, who, in a sense, stayed behind to man the terminals that kept that soaring dream alive with correct coordinates. Bill Stanford and Bryony Bortello were data scientists on the first NASA projects.
What we, for example, are doing at the moment is we're taking tennis balls with a hole drilled in the center, and then we're putting it at the top of a piece of string and watching it slide to the bottom. This shows, amongst other things, that gravity is still largely to blame for most things. I've been conducting personal experiments at home with my own beach ball. I'd like a bigger one, so we're talking to NASA. We'd like to build the biggest beach ball ever to see what would happen if we put it on a beach. We're simply biding time at the moment by filling large balloons with water and dropping them from the top of large buildings, attempting to hit passers-by below. What I realized was for every large balloon filled with water that I dropped from the top of a building, of every 6 or 7 pedestrians, I could hit about 2. I logged this, reported it to NASA, and I'm waiting to hear a reply.
Here we show you over the sea of fertility now. And,
Being in space is like reading a book with blank pages.
You value people and yourself a lot more.
No.
I found that.
You found that? I found I valued myself. I mean, I found...
Yeah, I found I valued you a lot more.
I didn't value you, though.
No, but that was because of the... Yeah.
As man sits upon a new rock, he can only gaze back at the nearby village he calls Earth and say to himself, that which was once what was is now no longer only. It is but the first, and here am I on the second. How many more for us there are over there, in vast, beautiful space.
You just want to sleep, really.
Yeah.
The Pursuit of Space, an information reel from Astrodata, an arm of NASA.
Well, that's space for you, and you may be interested to know that during that report, everybody here was certainly stopping what they were doing and generally putting things down.
Closing music.
And just time to felch out a few of tomorrow's headlines. Bombs away leopard throws noose round police. That's the Telegraph. Today, ride with serial lawn thief was Archbishop, says Mr. Duggan. You may be interested to know 12 across in the Times crossword is son of Mussolini invades dress shop, while the Surrey briefer pull in the crowds with charred sloth stumbles out of sandwich, and everything's all right in America again today. That's in the International Herald Tribune. That's it. I'm Christopher Morris, and wherever you are, I'm gonna find you. Man is only 90% water. On the hour is 100% news.
On the hour.
Such is politics. It's a painful business.
On the hour.
What you mustn't do in politics is listen to people.
It's a painful business. Such is politics.
People can see with blinding clarity.
I know that it's better to light a candle than curse the darkness, but it's better still to switch on the electric light.
On the hour with Christopher Morris.
Well, I must say, Directly beneath the lid,
The headlines.
oblong planet proves time is yellow, say physicists. The LTA reveal how skill will return to tennis with the introduction of the new single-sided racket. And in the financial world, the markets crash after the Chancellor is found chewing the AQ.
On the hour.
Plus, coming up, charity Duchess Elizabeth Taylor reveals the horrors of her new throat infection.
It's made me feel unwell. At this moment of time, you'll probably guess from the way I'm talking to you, not particularly able to cope with the problem.
And John Major unveils his keynote vision for tomorrow's Britain.
A classless society is a society that has a drab, uniform choice that whatever it may be, where everything is entirely the same. That's what I mean by a classless society.
But first, the news. New plans for schools to fight for pupils have been announced by the Department of Education today. The proposals, designed to introduce new levels of competition, require headmasters to fight each other on the school playing fields for the right to teach bright children. In the event of neither headmaster smashing the other one's face in, the contest will be decided with a full-scale pitch battle in which whole schools will wage war on each other over a period of several days. The winner will be the school which ends up with fewer dead.
News update.
And we've just heard that Prince Edward will be executed today. The decision follows months of speculation that the Queen's youngest son was not up to standard, and the palace may have been forced into their decision when the press obtained copies of Edward's recent low reading on the palace's royalty meter. Our reporter Debden Jubilee is outside the palace watching the gathering crowds.
I'm outside the palace now, watching the gathering crowds.
Debden Jubilee watching the gathering crowds.
On the hour, Rich Pickings at the Media Events Interface.
The Ministry of Defence has today announced the purchase of a single new weapon which will render the rest of the nation's defences redundant. Even now, details of the machine are shrouded in secrecy, but it is rumoured to be ready for service today. And we've managed to get hold of the manufacturers, Posman Whitby Munitions. They're on the telephone now. Hello?
Concord, good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sorry.
Is the machine ready to go?
Is the machine? What machine?
The new machine ordered by the Ministry of Defence.
Ah, no, you've got the wrong company, sir. We've got nothing to do with the Ministry of Defence order. This is Concord Auto Services, a garage. Keep the number so that next time we will collect your car, service it, vacuum and wash it, and return it to you. Just give a call and ask for Phil Bartley, and any booking for servicing, repair, and any
Right,
vehicle
I'm sorry, I think that was our defence correspondent, Martin Leahy, who was lined up as our next commentator but one. We'll go to line 2 now, where I gather we are through to the weapons manufacturers Posman Whitby.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Sorry?
Never mind. Now, can you just tell me, how much will the MOD be paying?
MOT? You want MOT as well?
They've ordered it, I believe.
Listen, service parts and labour is going to be about £65.
And has the new machine been tested?
Yeah, that one, the CO, you mean?
Pardon?
I got the machine, I can adjust the CO for you.
The CO?
Yeah.
Commanding officer?
Yeah.
General Beasley at the MOD.
The MOT?
These are precious seconds of news time. Perhaps you could speed up the rate of your response.
Listen, you come in here, I'll check the car, I'll give you a price, my friend.
Why the secrecy?
Eh?
I must press you on this.
Eh?
Can you tell me exactly how it will be used to wipe out the enemy in the event of war?
Ooh!
On the hour, leaves the apple to ripen on the bough, then harvests it at tremendous speed.
And a quick look at today's weather. Brighter in the north than in the south. Like the people. Brian.
And the weather brighter in the north than in the south. Like the people.
Time now for Alan Partridge with Sports Desk. And Alan, will the weather be affecting today's sport at all?
This is Sports Desk. I am Alan Partridge. Tennis. Last night saw Gabriella Sabatini win the final of the Quarterman's Challenge. I caught up with her soon after her triumph.
Gabriella, it's a great sort of honour for me to meet you at last, and got a lot of you on tape at home, a lot of videos that I can't help watching again and again. Nice to meet you. How do you feel? You've won the tournament. What do you feel about that?
Tired. It was difficult, and Steffi's obviously a great player, but on the day I won.
A lot of people say you won on the kind of catwalk as well, in a sort of a girl, attractive kind of way. I mean, no? No,
it just, Steffi's a great player, and it's just a question of who wins on the day.
You're not an unattractive young lady, and you played a great game, certainly. Your tennis is good too, that's not unimportant, and I think you've done a lot of a big service to your country, all that kind of sort of the differences that have existed in the past. I'm sort of thinking maybe the General Galtieri. Have you ever met him?
No. No, I don't know what you mean exactly.
Well, it's just that General Galtieri is a bit of a tennis player himself, although he played tennis with people's heads, was the line I heard. Bit of a joke. I mean, he's gone now, it's behind us, we don't have to talk about that really. All the whole Falklands thing, I think, it really needn't be raised. You won the match, you lost the Falklands, there must be some sort of compensation. Huh.
On the hour, choice morsels from a broad kitchen.
And I'm just hearing that the royal procession for the execution of Prince Edward is about to depart. Over now to Debden Jubilee at Buckingham Palace.
Well, yes, and what a heartwarming scene now greets the eye outside the palace. The huge crowd stretching away towards Admiralty Arch, hugging the Mall, hugging it like a cross-section through a thickly cladded pipe, with the road as the pipe and the crowd as the cladding. That's what it is. And there's a great sense of joy here today. Joy, I suppose, for a young man who's finally found purpose and honour. One begins to swell with great pride and emotion at the mere thought. I know if I were a balloon, I would undoubtedly be a red one. And I think the same goes for my colleague, Peter's Sisters Christmas, who's in the crowd at the moment talking to some of the many people who've been queuing here all night. Hello, Peter.
That's right. Now, hello there.
Hi.
You've been down here all night waiting. Has it been chilly?
Big one?
You've been out here all night waiting for the Prince, haven't you?
No, I haven't been up here.
Yeah. And you'll be waving at the Prince as he goes past?
I very much doubt it, because I've got so much to do at home.
But you're glad to see what's happening to him today, anyway?
Well, what is happening to him?
He's going off to be executed at Westminster Abbey.
Oh, is he? What prince is that?
Edward.
Prince Edward? Oh, well, he'd be no loss. He'd be no loss. I'm afraid I'm a royalist, but where he's concerned, I'm a roundhead.
Why do you feel that way about him? Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's a bit wishy-washy, isn't he? He's not my idea of a... Perhaps I'm a little bit gung-ho, having been 22 years in the army, but I think Edward's a little bit of a fairy, really.
Peter's Sisters Christmas, an extremely broad thank you to Peter. And there's the word of command from the Sergeant-at-Arms. The landau now begins to move out, and the Prince is standing up. He acknowledges the crowd, who salute back, many of them waving enthusiastically with one arm, while the other describes sharp strokes across the neck and the tongue protrudes from a smiling mouth. Well, what about that? Proud moments these, and every one of them proud to be proud too.
And we'll return to the scene of this moving occasion as soon as Edward has been hauled all the way down Whitehall to his final appointment in Westminster Abbey.
On the hour.
Time now for a thought or two from Monsignor Trebe Lopez.
Last week I was on the hillside tending my flock of sheep, and I noticed that one of my sheep was missing, and I risked leaving the whole flock to rescue that one sheep which had fallen off a cliff onto a ledge and hurt itself quite badly. And that incident reminds me of the parable of the shepherd who noticed that one of his sheep was missing, yet left his flock to rescue it. Skip, O sheep, for God has provided you with shepherds.
And the speaker in Thought for the Day this morning was the Reverend Dr. John Newton, Free Church moderator for Merseyside. I was accused the other morning of saying Merseyside. Somebody wrote, is this a new ecclesiastical see? The time now is 8 minutes to 8.
Now this week's On the Hour special feature. With only 32 weeks to go before Christmas, care for the elderly is causing concern on the agenda once more. none more so than in the Labour-run London borough of Harrington, where elderly care is the cause of concern. Our reporter Dawn Sentinel visited the Harrington Old, and her report opens with an appropriate song.
Where is love?
All right, Harry, how are you doing? You all right?
Is that Janet?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
You all right? Now, look, I've brought some friends with me, Mick and Dave.
Hello, Mick. Hello, Dave.
Mick and Dave, and they're going to take you out on the streets, all right?
82-year-old Harry Thompson being evicted from his home, not by the bailiffs, but by the Labour-run Harrington Borough Council Social Work Department. Council leader Chris Collick explains why.
As you know, in the borough of Harrington, we have had to abandon the free teeth at Christmas scheme, which was a very popular scheme. And we have replaced it by a scheme of rounding up elderly people, and we are taking them from their homes and putting them in boxes in the streets. The point is, John Major won't be sleeping out in a box this Christmas. You know, and that's the point that we're making. John Major won't be sleeping out, the Cabinet won't be sleeping out, but in Harrington, thousands of old people will be sleeping rough. And we want to know what the government are going to do about it.
Before I ask you a little more about your arrangements, may I just ask, will Chris Collick be sleeping out over Christmas?
I don't see the point in any more people suffering. Socialism is not about everybody coming down. It's about everybody going up to a certain level, but a level that isn't ridiculous.
What sort of arrangements have you made?
Well, the same as usual. I'll be staying with my mother in Leicester.
For the pensioners of Harrington, there will be some hope on Christmas Day. Luke Goswell, leader of the charity organisation The Christian Fist of Gratitude, has been leading the campaign to raise money for the elderly.
Although £37.50 has been raised numerically, there's a lot more that's been raised in people's hearts.
You've been asking people to donate toys. It doesn't strike me immediately what benefit toys would be.
No, what we've been asking people is to get all the toys, all the things they can think of, perhaps things that they don't particularly like, you know. So don't send any new toys. We want slightly damaged ones, obviously. There's all kinds of things, a variety of stuff. There's mutant turtle things, He-Man figures. Someone yesterday gave me a calendar of the rock band Marillion, which is quite unusual.
And all these things we'll give to the old people, and hopefully they can, I don't know, they can either hang them up or sell them.
There's going to be a rally, and this will be a march. Many, in fact all of the old people will be marching too. And let me tell you, a lot of them are very old, and they don't want to march, but they'll be marching. And if they have to be physically carried, we will carry them, because we support those people. Some of them will be carried in their boxes, so we will symbolically burn a lot of these boxes, and maybe, you know, there could be some old people inside the boxes, maybe, because we don't know what can happen.
You're going to burn old people at Christmas?
I'm not saying we are going to burn old people. I am saying that old people may burn.
There are all kinds of administrative things that have to be taken care of first before we can even start giving help to the elderly. For example, I visited Lourdes on behalf of the charity. That wasn't cheap, I can tell you. When I was over there, you know, I went in search of answers. I asked questions at the grotto. Like the question asked, I'll tell you, the question asked was, Jesus, what am I going to do? And he said, well, go back and have another think about it. And I did that, and that was money well spent.
But 82-year-old Harry Thompson has his own vigil, a vigil with a box at midnight.
Right, we got the box then, lads?
Yeah, right, here we go.
Okay, all right, Harry, we're off then. You coming? Come on.
Come on, mate.
Come on,
old trooper. Come on. Going out the bridge, a lot of traffic, a lot to do there. Bye, house. Bye.
Dawn Sentinel with that disturbing report.
On the hour, holding up a net in the strong breeze.
And just ahead of the time, let's join the continuity announcer to find out about programmes later today on Radio 4.
At 10:45 this morning, there's another chance to eavesdrop on the Welsh.
I don't think Swans is very Welsh, really.
No,
not really very Welsh.
There's no Welsh sound
it's
in the
not.
word
It's not ever so
Swansea.
Welsh. No.
There's no hair in Swansea.
No. I tell you one thing. When I was a kid, our Christmases in Cardiff, now this is a very Welsh thing, we always used to have a tree Always at a tree.
We had one too, and it was very nice, part of a tradition. And we didn't have knees in those days.
That's the Welsh at 10:45, and an hour and 3/4 before that at 9 o'clock, it's time to call Nick Ross.
Good morning. John Major says he won't. Neil Kinnock says he might. Paddy Ashdown says they must. It's been called venereal TV. But nowadays, almost every week seems bad for British Rail. People who can't see or hear or move or even think. But do you want full-scale electoral reform? Or is it bonkers? Is it daft to try to legislate disabilities away? What's your experience of train travel and what can put things right? If William Kennedy Smith was on trial in Britain, should you and I be able to tune in? Do you think your journeys then would be safer, more reliable and pleasant? Do call.
That's Call Nick Ross at 9 o'clock this morning on Radio 4. Today at 9 o'clock this morning with Nick Ross on Call Nick Ross. Today on Radio 4. Produced by Nick Utekin.
And just ahead of the weather, there's an SOS message for a Mr. Robert Smithson, currently being buried in Yorkshire. Could you please return home immediately? You're perfectly all right.
Pause while we just think about real ale. The time is coming up to 5 to 8.
And now just 7 seconds for the weather. Chester Mint at the London Weather Centre. It's been something of an appalling week, hasn't it? We've needed hats and coats and woolly scarves to protect ourselves against the somewhat torrential downpour that we've experienced. In fact, I remember that Wednesday was an umbrella day, was it not? Any chance of a change?
Starting in the south.
Lift off! This is On the Hour. Wake up and smell the news. Coming up, the Coventry hairstylist who had a brush with the Pope.
He came in here and he knelt down over there, and then out of the blue he said, "Can I have a wash and rinse?"
And in that context, we use the word brush in the sense of encounter and how time is running out for all of Derbyshire's cats.
There's nearly 2,000 of them in there, and if something isn't done soon, someone is going to switch on the crusher.
But first news. It was disclosed this evening that for 48 hours last month, Argentina's affairs of state were in the hands of a 42-year-old bricklayer from Durham. Todd Gallagher, who had been queuing with other tourists to see President Carlos Menem, finally walked into the head of state's chamber to find him slumped dead over his big desk. Using his initiative, Gallagher took up the reins of office and ran the country single-handed while diplomats used the telephone to talk him through complex trade negotiations with the International Bank and a series of billion-dollar arms deals before a successor to Menem was found. Gallagher was rushed to hospital after his ordeal, but has vowed to have another go as soon as he's fully recovered.
Abroad.
And if you imagine On the Hour as a little man standing on the British mainland who's just cast his net as far as America, then he could probably do the next bit left-handed, since it's to Europe we go for Euronews with Eurespondent Jacques Off, le premier type sur Radio Wow FM.
Sur l'heure, Euronouvelle avec Jacques Off.
Ok, et hyper bonjour, je suis Jacques Off, le premier type sur Radio Wow FM avec tous les rock et tous les rôles, le maximum time check et les nouvelles. Je suis l'homme avec le doigt sur les légumes. Les étoiles du monde. Showbiz. Aujourd'hui, la nouvelle exclusive du Maxi Punch-Up des personnalités cinématiques à Cannes. La grande bif a commencé avec un contretemps entre Jean-Michel Jarre et Brigitte Bardot. Monsieur le keyboard conduisait son Cadillac le long du promenade quand, tout de suite, un des chiens de Brigitte a couru au milieu de la rue et fouac, l'animal était mâché dans la grille de radiateur. Vraiment, la voiture a été un bitch magnet, hein? Et en face de cette tragédie, la Brigitte, qui venait de visiter au surgeon plastique pour sa 9e ascenseur de visage, a crié « Monsieur Aperture de derrière, allez-vous faire une compilation avec vous-même ?» Furieux, le musicien a fait le maxi workout. Il est descendu de son automobile, a couvert les cheveux pubiques de Brigitte avec SO Blue et lui a donné le flambé de Beauvoir. C'était le signal pour Cock Douglas, toujours le salaud, de se jeter au milieu de fracas et kick-ass. Puis Gérard Depardieu, se croyant le peacemaker, a crié « Arrêtez au nom du pape !» Et tout le monde a répondu « Taisez-vous, grande blouse
cause de filles. Et lui en batou jusqu'au milieu de la semaine prochaine. Les politiciens se biffaient aussi. Monsieur Le Pen était naté par Jacques Delors. Et toute la nuit, les célébrités se soquaient et s'en frappaient la merde. Et heureusement, il y avait seulement une morte qui était Vanessa Paradis, qui était tuée et mangée par les chiens de Brigitte Bardot. Sur l'heure, Euro Nouvelle avec Jacques Oeuf.
Oh voilà, Jacques Oeuf.
And back home now to our live coverage of the execution of Prince Edward. Debden Jubilee is in Westminster Abbey awaiting the start of the ceremony.
And so the Archbishop, wearing the white robes of dispatch, prepares to make the declaration of innocent remorse.
I, slave to God, chief hound to your majesty's kennel, do tender my remorse in the headstand of perfect sorrow.
He now delivers the rest of his address, upside down.
Dear Lord, turn not the fearful corrugation of thy frown upon my unworthy lid, but accept the innocence of my office as I paddle my feet in the anguish of odious necessity.
The bishop waves his legs about, sadly.
And so I pray. God power my plunging blows. Amen.
And with an elegant backflip, the bishop stands again to collect the tools of execution. The bodkin that lanced King Henry VIII, the chalice of amyl nitrate, and the bludgeon of Thomas à Becket. And now we await the merciful act. Oh, and that's a shame. The congregation heard it too, yes. Quite clearly, at the very last moment, the boy yelped, and that means, of course, that he can't now be buried in consecrated turf, but must be left on a hillside in Scotland.
And I'll have to interrupt you there, Debden. I know you can't hear me, but when you fail to hear your own voice being relayed from the microphone into your headphones, you'll realise we have wrested control of the broadcast. That incident, of course, plunges us into constitutional crisis. I'm not even sure if we're allowed to carry on broadcasting. Brian, do you know?
I don't think Bad Light should have been allowed to stop the play at the Oval. Do you remember the one at Old Trafford where they played till 9 o'clock and David Hughes went on and said to Jackie Bond, if I can see it, I'll hit it, and scored 24 off the final over and they won?
Well, I'll take that as a yes. Time now for Rosie May with Green Desk.
Green Desk.
Green News update from me, Rosie May.
Smoking is good for the environment and for smokers too. For many years, doctors have told us that smoking is bad for us. However, it isn't. It is good for us and the environment.
Green Desk.
Silly string is a danger to our society and would be banned under a Liberal Democrat government. The popular string-like novelty has come under fire from Liberal Democrat leader Paddy Ashdown. He says if the silly string were squirted at a child or old person from close range, it may go in their hair. Paddy continues that this almost happened to him once, but using his SAS training, he was able to dodge it, and luckily it just sort of went on the floor.
Green Desk.
This is Sports Desk. This is Alan Partridge. Badminton. The international badminton event starts tonight, and Britain's hopes rest with two talented Ipswich girls, Jo Berrington and Kathy Long. I caught up with them near the net. Tell me about the game. Do you feel good about it?
Well, we won.
Yeah, it was a really good game. They were very thorough, but we gave them a good game and we're very pleased.
Yeah, I was just watching you. You look great. It's you've got to admit there's a bit of kind of comedy and a bit of sort of humour, and I suppose you've got to have a sense of humour when you're playing a game that you use a shuttle. What is it? A shuttle what?
A shuttlecock.
Yeah. But I suppose you get that all the time. You're probably bored of it.
Bored of what?
Cock.
Oh, I see. Right.
Shuttlecock. Yeah.
No, we don't. No, people don't really mention that very much. It's
no,
usually
they don't
because
really,
it's not
unless
called
they're really...
a cock. It's a shuttlecock.
Yeah.
So it's not really that funny.
Yeah. Doubles. Do you like playing doubles?
I think we like playing together. Really, we've got a lot of rapport.
Playing with each other.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a
Quite
good team. Joe can do the things I can't do, and I can do the things that Joe's not so hot on.
Yes. So listen, you're there. You're in the shower. I mean, bit of horseplay, I guess, must happen now and again.
Oh yeah, a lot of joking about.
Around,
get the bubble bath out.
The old wash and go jokes, all that stuff.
Yes, wash and go. Yeah, I don't mind watching that. Yeah. Sometime.
Well, you'll have to come and join us sometime, Alan.
Right. Well, I'd like to. When? I mean, when?
Oh well, anytime you like. The door's open, Alan.
No, come on. I mean, when?
When's our next match then?
Next Saturday.
Yeah, Milton Keynes next Saturday. See you there.
Shall I meet you in the changing rooms, or what? Should I just go meet you after the pitch, or after the match?
You talking about for an interview? You wanna?
No. For the showers, like you said. In the shower.
You want to come into our showers after the match?
Yeah, you just said, didn't you?
Yeah, but we were joking.
Oh, come on,
No, you come on. What are you saying? You want to come into our showers and watch us shower? Is that what are you?
I'm just trying to be friendly, that's all.
But
I mean, a bit of a joke.
It's a professional interview. We were told.
Yeah,
that's what we were told.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, mate? I think that's a question you need to ask yourself.
No, what's wrong with you?
Terry, get this man out of here, would you?
A couple of spunky ladies.
On the Hour. Never balks at issues from which other news programmes might well shrink.
And I gather now that the royal family is about to emerge onto the balcony. Debden Jubilee is fairly proximal to this exegesis. And here they come. The crowd has brought the family out for the traditional wave. They're shouting for the prince. We want Ed, they say. And here he comes. Yes, there it is. The corpse waves, its arm being wagged furiously by Prince Harry. Well done him. And don't forget the head, of course. In the past it would have been tossed into the crowd, but this week, as we know, it's being offered as the star prize in the Times Royal Spot the Head competition, using exclusive pictures from today behind the Abbey screen.
The prize of the century. Prince Edward's head in your choice of 3 consumer durables. Ed in a bottle, a beautiful ornament and a touching tribute. Ed's head is suspended in green oil and filled with a variable buoyancy gas for restful bobbing. The ultimate facelift. Ed's face is lifted off, rubberized and adapted to fit your dog. Down, Ed, down. Or you may prefer the patent desktop Ed Head stamp clicker with protuberant tongue and saliva reservoir for family contributions. Ed Head, tomorrow, only in the Times.
And that's it. 934 years ago today, Macbeth was killed in battle. I thought you would like to know that. Good morning.
Closing music.
And just time to cruise the headlines in tomorrow's papers. Horizontal tourist floats out of fridge. That's the Times. The Sun go with Hello Kids bellows flattened toad, while octogenarian fire eater in frazzled hat mistake is the lead in the Hackney Ruler. The Express have No one can repossess my choir, cries vicar, as bailiffs repossess choir. And the Wheeler cartoon in tomorrow's Independent has a picture of the Home Secretary saying British justice is now fairer than ever, and the caption, no it's not, it's badly in need of review. That's it. I may be going, but in news, of course, there is no maybe. So yes, going I most definitely am.